Alright, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name is Elliott and you're watching Rickety Ski Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about everybody's favorite thing to talk about for some reason, and I could not tell you why. That's BOA. BOA is a little mechanism that basically takes a metal wire, runs it around a boot liner or whatever, could be a glove, they have several different things, and when you tighten it, it gives you a firm, tight kind of feeling. It's essentially replacing the lower half of ski boots, and you kind of tighten it down. The reason we're talking about it is Out of Collective recently put out a video. They seem to be like the BOA's biggest cheerleader, which isn't a dig, they just seem to like it, and that's totally cool. In Out of Collective's video, they're basically arguing two different anti-BOA arguments. One is, oh, well, it's just ski boot companies trying to make it more expensive.
This is not the same system that you broke on your K2 Masis rental boot when you were snowboarding. I think there's been a ton of commentary on BOA, but I don't think there's been very many BOAs actually breaking in 2024 for us to go, this system is cheap, this system doesn't work, they just want us to spend more money. I don't think any of that's true.
I don't think it's a bad mechanism. I think anything that makes your ski boots fit better, go for it. You know what I mean? People do some wacky stuff with their ski boots. Oh, you know, I duct tape the bottom part of the tongue so it can be a little smoother. Whatever works for you, go for it. If it makes your ski boots feel better and you can ski for longer, that's all that really matters, right? Everybody's got their own way about it. I will say, before you try stuff, talk to a professional. There are people who know how to combat different things. Oh, okay, well, my heel is sliding out. Okay, well, maybe that means that your heel isn't kind of low enough and cupped in. You know, I've had things with my ski boots where a spoiler putting my foot more forward completely fixed it. Specifically for the Atomic Hawks Prime, I found that like, oh, I'm not really getting a good seal with my shin to the front of the boot. The spoiler put it in a different position and completely fixed it. So there are like professionals who know how to fix things a different way, but I think maybe what Out of Collective is misrepresenting accidentally, or the point that they're missing, is that there's a real aversion to BOA just in the fact that the ski boots that have BOA are more expensive. I think last time I checked, they're like $150 more for BOA. And I have seen firsthand from ski shops, not Out of Collective, but other ski shops, where they'll go, oh, you need BOA. And they'll kind of instantly guide you to that, because a lot of the times selling a more expensive, creating a higher ticket item. I don't know if some ski shops do commissions or what, but last year when I went and tested different ski boots at like 3 or 4 different shops, every single person tried to guide me towards BOA. And I'm all for trying it, but I really did not get any extra value for it. And if anything, I like customizing those 2 buckles on the bottom half of my boot because it makes a tighter fit for me. Now, if BOA works for you, all the power to you. Use, like I said, use whatever works. But I think you're missing the point that there is a lot of hatred for BOA because it's felt like there are some manufacturers that are just kind of shoving it down our throats. Oh, you want the premium boot? You want the premium Fischer Ranger boot or whatever? That's a BOA. And I think for a lot of consumers who don't know any better, they're thinking, well, if I spend more money, I'm getting a better boot. And it's like, no, you're getting this more expensive mechanism that is foot dependent. So I think a lot of the reluctancy is kind of happening from, there's a difference between like what Fischer's doing and what the actual ski shop's doing. And I think a lot of times ski shops will just push you into something regardless of if it's a good fit for you. And if you're a consumer and you don't know that much, you might just think, well, more is better. Well, why would I get an Atomic Bent 100? The Bent 120 is $200 more. That must be more ski. That must be a better ski. And I think a lot of the pushback from the community is trying to help educate people. So there's a disconnect there. The other thing is, doesn't Out of Collective have a ski shop? I think I was looking on his LinkedIn, like he either works at a ski shop or worked at a ski shop, or his family has some kind of ski shop. I would assume just based on all the Fischer skis behind him, he's selling skis in some capacity, no? If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments. I'm open to being wrong. That was just kind of my uneducated opinion about it, but I believe he's connected to a shop some way. What was the other one? That they're durable. Yeah, that's probably true. Unfortunately, BOA does kind of have to live with the sins of its past in having unreliable snowboard boot systems. in the Out of Collective's video, they say, oh, well, it's not the same system that was on your demo boots from K2 15, 20 years ago. And it's like, okay, no, but it was the same name on the thing. So if consumers don't trust a product because it was unreliable, that's kind of on the product. I believe you when you say that they're more reliable now. I absolutely believe that. But you can't blame consumers from being gun shy when there's been a lower tier product in the past. And I have tried those. I've tried BOA boots. I had friends that had the BOA brake. It wasn't just demo boots. I mean, that's totally misrepresenting it. There were bad snowboard boots with BOA. They didn't do a good job. They broke. They were impossible to replace. BOA did not have the infrastructure for repair that they do now. And back then, the fit on the snowboard boots with BOA was not that great. I mean, I had DC Airwalks, which is like an air pump, which you want to talk about unreliable. But what was nice is you could get the laces tightened, and if you just use the pump a little bit to like kind of bridge the gap, those worked really well. And I never had those fail. I had BOAs fail in front of me, but not any of the Airwalks, which tells you something because the Airwalks were kind of notorious for breaking. BOA made that bed. They need to lay in it a little bit. And finally, if you want to know the real reason consumers like me are so reluctant to see BOA, is just the oversaturation of it. I think that if BOA makes a product that makes your ski boot fit better, that's great. I want skiing to be more accessible for people. I've even thought of user cases where like maybe you have arthritis, maybe putting that clasp is really hard on your wrist and that twisting motion is easier. Maybe it's something where you are skiing in like an adaptive setting and it's easier for somebody to crank the BOA versus like latch it for someone else. Maybe you're working with somebody with a disability. I think the more you can make the mountain accessible for people, the better. So I will say, I'll put this out there. I like BOA. At its core, it's making ski boots more accessible for people. It's creating a wider variety of product to help meet consumers' needs. My only problem with BOA is almost in the thing that Out of Collective talked about in the beginning, which is that it's on cowboy boots, it's on gloves, it's on jackets, it's on vests, it's on ski boots, it's on snowboard boots. I think my main concern with BOA is its oversaturation. It seems like there are times that don't make any sense to me to have BOA. A BOA glove, like there's no accessibility that I can think of there. That seems like, hey, how do we sell this ticket item for a higher price? And when you do that, when you start putting BOA on stuff that isn't useful, you're shooting yourself in the foot where people go, okay, it's not useful on a glove, maybe it's not that useful on a boot, so they kind of write it off. So I think some of this bad PR that BOA is getting is self-inflicted. I think that they've oversaturated the ski industry with BOA products that make people kind of go, oh, well, I don't want it on everything. I just want a basic Velcro strap. I just want a boot buckle that's gonna work great. So in my opinion, I think BOA is good for the ski industry. I think it's helping create accessibility for people. I think if it's getting you a better fit, that is awesome. But BOA, I don't know who your PR guy is, but don't put it in useless things if you don't want people to think it's a useless product. That's my 2 cents. That's how I feel as a consumer. Out of Collective in general, this is a good video. I mean, I think probably what they're doing here is they're getting a lot of pushback from people that they're talking to, and this is just like a blanket system of having a video that explains BOA. They also said BOA gets a lot of clicks, which I don't know. Does it? I don't know. In the videos I've made, BOA has been fine. It's not extra click. Not every ski boot in the future is gonna have BOA. I don't see that being a future. I don't think for my type of foot, it's as tight of a fit. And I think that that's where you lose people, where you start saying every ski boot, every race boot in the future is gonna be BOA. There's no shot. For some people, it might work better, but it's not for everyone. And expecting mass adoption from people in the BOA system is crazy in my mind. But anyway, that's my thoughts on BOA, if you were wondering. If you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. That's a free way to support the channel. I'll also have BOA boots in the affiliate links and all the other products that are on sale right now. If you're a skier and you're looking for goods, I would look now. This is when I buy. All of my affiliate links are based on percentages, so if I was really worried about selling you stuff, you would see more of that in December or January. But I personally buy stuff on sale, so I'm happy to pass that along to you guys. As always though, thanks for just being here. Thanks for watching. If you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. But just more than anything, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.